I want you to know, starting this out, this isn't anything about body shaming. It's not a forewarned apology. It's just a fact. I had a boss once. We were sitting in a fast food restaurant, and there was this big woman walking by on the sidewalk out the window that we could see without her knowing we even existed. And he looked at her, and she just had these ginormous was the word that came to mind, but I don't know if that's proper to use. Tits. They were just huge. And she's waddling down the sidewalk, and he looks and he says, oh, those tits alone would get that woman married. And I was like, oh, I found nothing attractive about that person at all. This person, I had no attraction whatsoever, and it blew my mind. I was like, and then there was another time, a friend of mine, he was dating a girl, and she was a big girl, and he would talk, he'd say, just, oh man, those tits, those boobies, you know, oh, and I was just like, huh, I don't get it. You know, is that all that person is the tits? Because I see a lot more that I find unattractive to me. What I realized when he said that was Barbie isn't hurting us at all. All these arguments about Barbie, the Barbie doll, destroying people, attacking the women, changing their looks, you know, what they think they need to be. Because here, this guy and this guy, they have not been swayed into believing they need this thin woman with big boobs and whatever she has or hasn't got. They know what they like. And I'm like, this explains it. Why that woman is still walking around out there. Because in the time of her parents and grandparents and all the way back, there were people that were attracted to that. Whether there was a little totem that they had out in the caves or anything like that that said otherwise, men were still like, I want a woman that can conserve the energy she's got and feed my babies. All the while I'm gonna tit fuck her. Something like that, you know. That's why people are bigger, is because they are more effective at gathering the energy from the food they take. Look at me. I'm high in protein, the scale says. Like astronomical high. Jeez, if we're going to talk about bodies. So, looking at that, and it takes me back to the idea of how somehow we got away from loving big women, which, as I think of it, the people that pose naked for art classes are usually pretty unattractive. And they like that because the artists can touch on, not unattractive, just, you know, they can touch on the differences between all of humanity when they paint these things. So I figure in the time of Da Vinci, the only people showing up to pose nude were probably ugly and needing attention. Maybe that's it. Maybe they didn't change the way we see each other. But I think, look at them. They were all big women. And of course they're going to want big women. That means they're getting fed well. You know, wealthy people eat good food. But then, this is what I'm telling you. How I understand how my boss and my friend would not find any attraction in the kind of woman that I find attractive. Victoria. I'm not going to say they wouldn't fuck her, but that might not be what they're looking for in a real emotively driven fucking excursion. I understand this now because I'm seeing these things about the Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, trying to sell this thing that's just basically covering the fucking peach, now that you shaved it, covering your 6-year-old girl genitalia. She's posing in it and she's looking all, well, look, there's my xiphoid process. Gotta be careful doing CPR. You could fucking break off the xiphoid process and lacerate the liver. I'm looking at her and it reminded me from the very first time I was seeing her. That just disgusts me. I think her body is absolutely disgusting. There's this big fat ass. These are my opinions on the things that I like. Big fat ass. And she's got hips that would bear a fucking rhino. I mean, how many fucking kids she plan on having at once? You don't want a woman having a bunch of other guys' kids at the same time as she's having yours. That means you don't know which one is yours and which one to protect. She's like a fucking heifer. Just raining like a fucking cow pissing on a rock. I find her disgusting. And I realize there are all these people. Do they really find her attractive? And if they do, that's fine. That means she's beautiful to some. And that's all she needs. But what I'm wondering is, are they trying to push us down a path? I mean, you see these women in nip and tuck. That woman got ass things put in her ass and it killed her because she was doing it in a side blind alley or something. Everybody's getting these ass things in. You're being fucking driven down a road to changing the way you look, the way you are. Evidently, in my time, the men needed a woman that could run fast. And that's the first thing I noticed about Victoria walking up the hill into the cemetery. I was like, she can move. I said, oh. Everything goes to shit. She can keep up. You have no idea what a pain in the ass it is to keep somebody around that you got to carry. Oh, don't let them change the way you love women. Barbie couldn't do it. Don't let the Kardashians do it either. The only thing I've ever seen come out of those fucking hips is emasculinity.